wasn't there for the last dance, but former South Christian standout Matt Steigenga did win an NBA title with Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls in 1997.
So he offers a unique perspective to the ESPN documentary The Last Dance, chronicling the Bulls championship run. He talked with sports director Jack Doles.
If you're a sports fan, then it's a pretty good bet you've been watching the ESPN documentary The Last Dance. We're getting an insight into what drove Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls to 6 NBA championships, an insight that few got to see. Matt Steigenga saw it firsthand when he was part of the Bulls in the 96-97 season. He was there when they won championship number 5. Matt, what's it like for you to watch this documentary?
Well, it brings back a lot of memories. They come flooding back. So it's kind of like, oh, I remember that, and oh, I remember that too. And so it's been special. When this first was announced, it was coming out. I wasn't sure what to expect, and I think it's surpassed a lot of expectations. And especially at a time when we need something to watch, it's been interesting. So I'm enjoying it. I really am. It's fun to relive those memories.
Has anything in this documentary surprised you?
I think the Dennis Rodman story of when he went to Las Vegas mid-season, that shocked me. I mean, I was like, he did what? And I thought that was a pretty, even Michael Jordan's response to all that was really candid, and that surprised me. But I think maybe another surprise would be the access this film crew had. That surprises me, and I mean, thank goodness they did, because we have a catalog now of a great team and a great season.
Matt, I remember coming to Chicago to do a story on you, and you had to move your stuff out of your locker because they stuck the rookies next to Michael Jordan. How fun was it to be a part of that circus?
It was amazing. It was amazing. I mean, circus is a good way to describe it. I often told people it was like being a member of the most famous rock and roll band, because what you see really did happen. Every time we rolled into a new town or to the hotel, there were crowds and crowds of people there. So it was, and they were there really to see one thing, and that was Michael Jordan. So it was pretty amazing. But in the locker room, I did get the locker. I had the locker right next to him. As I probably told you that, I thought that was a joke they played on the rookies, because my first game, when I came back after taking a shower, I had nowhere to go. I mean, there was literally a crowd of reporters standing around my locker, and I had to wait a good 10 minutes just to put on my clothes. So I didn't know the routine. The players get ready so fast, because 15 minutes after a game, you guys, the reporters, are allowed to go in there. It's a league rule. So it was a rule I was unaware of, but I learned very quickly.
Yeah, we've got stuff we want to know. Jordan's competitiveness is legendary, and we're seeing a glimpse of it right now. Is that what set him apart and made him arguably the greatest player of all time?
I believe so, absolutely. Just that drive, the work ethic, never stopping. What I remember was in training camp in '96, so the month of October. They're coming off their 72-10 season, a championship, and some of the starters, Scottie Pippen had the ankle injury, so he was sitting out the preseason. Luke Longley, the starting center, had a back problem. I think then the other guys decided, like Tony Kukoc then had an injury. So these guys didn't really play much in the preseason, but Michael Jordan did. And he showed up every day, and he worked extremely hard every day in the preseason, and that's how he prepared. He came in ready. He didn't use training camp to get in shape. He already was in shape, and he worked extremely hard. And then later in the year, when I was back, I would try to get to the gym first. I always tried to be there early. I had nothing else to do. I didn't have a family. That was my job. But quite often he beat me in there. And I really got to see firsthand how he became Michael Jordan.
You saw the media that swarmed him, the fans that clamored to get close. You talked about being in a rock and roll band. Was he the first Beatle or the fifth?
Good question. At that time, you heard often he was more famous than the Pope, and there wasn't anyone on the earth more popular at that moment. So, just because of my relationship to him, I would say he was first.